Hello everyone, welcome to the Tournament Center here at the end of day 2 from Pro Tour Oath of the Gatewatch in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Rich Hagan, Brian David Marshall here with you to wrap up all the action, and it was action-packed down to the 50th minute of the 16th round.
Yeah, absolutely. Down the stretch, every single round, the last 3 rounds, was just fraught with peril for players. We watched Luis Scott Vargas gut shot his way to victory against Frank Lepore, and then Frank Lepore, he fraught with peril 4 straight rounds, 4 straight win innings. I don't think we've ever seen anything like it at a Pro Tour before.
Yeah, it was extraordinary stuff. And as you'll see, as we always do, we get a top 8 to come back tomorrow. Why don't we take a look at the big board and show you where the chips fell. It is an extraordinary top 8 coming your way. Let's take a look at the big board. All right, in 1, from Japan, Shuhei Nakamura.
Yeah, Shuhei Nakamura, a Hall of Famer. This is his 6th top 8. Hasn't had a top 8, though, since 2008. It has been a long time. But, I was talking to Ben Stark about this earlier today, and Ben Stark's like, it's kind of unfair to say he hasn't a top 8, because he's like, he just constantly has top 16, top 24 finishes. It's not like he's gone away. It's not like he's slacked off. Just like, a couple of hairs split here and there, right. And he might have 7 or 8 top 8s at this point.
And he will be playing an Eldrazi deck that really is the talk of the town, and justifiably so.
Well, this is the colorless Eldrazi deck that the Channel Fireball Face-to-Face Games Collective brought to the table, and it was a dominant deck. Put up 70-point plus match win percentage early on day 1, and continued to dominate on day 2.
Yeah, an extraordinary achievement. Hall of Famer Shuhei Nakamura is number 1. Number 2, same team, different region, Ivan Flock of Slovakia.
I talked to Ivan Flock at Grand Prix Vancouver, and he was so excited to be working with this team, and you really see the results. I mean, this is, when you think of Ivan Flock, I know you particularly think of control decks.
Absolutely.
Board sweepers, counter spells.
Mono blue if he can, blue white if he can't. Blue, black, white if he absolutely has to.
And one of the amazing things to me about teams in this Pro Tour format is it can snap people out of their patterns. Say, you are a great Magic player, play the best deck in the tournament, play the best deck in the field. This is what we've arrived at. And you will be great with the best deck. It's, a dangerous, lethal combination. Best player, best deck.
Yeah, phenomenal. So that's his 3rd Pro Tour top 8. We're up to 9.
And he is a Pro Tour champion already.
Already, indeed he is. In number 3, and we come down a notch in terms of match points. So now we're at 12-3-1, 12 wins, 3 losses, and 1 handshake for the draw. Tell us a bit about Andrew Brown.
Andrew Brown is a Grand Prix winner. He's someone who is playing in his 4th Pro Tour this weekend, 18th place in his first Pro Tour.
Right, 11-4-1 at Kanza Tarkir.
Tarkir, I'm not sure which one, but yes. A tremendous finish, a great way to start your career. A couple of, so-so finishes. Comes here as a member of Team East-West Bowl. This is a kind of like, almost like banding together of the last remaining parts of several different teams scattered around North America. And you know what? They came up with a crazy deck, a blue-red Eldrazi deck that uses cards most often seen in draft. We haven't even seen a lot of these cards in standard. Eldrazi Sky Spawner, Vile Aggregate, and then a lot of the same Eldrazi fast mana engines we saw in the other Eldrazi deck. And there he is in his first top 8. Only 4 tries at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, so first one for him, 6th Pro Tour top 8. For number 4, Luis Scott Vargas will not be commentating tomorrow. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, Luis, huge relief for him. Again, we just had a conversation with him. He's someone who, he loves playing Magic. And, part of it, when you get to the level that Luis Scott Vargas is at, the Hall of Fame club, you start to, you're like, okay, how long has it been since I topped 8? We watched Paulo Vitor Damarosa go through a little bit of a slump. And, it was really it was really getting at him. And I feel like maybe Luis, for all of his good humor and good nature about Magic, was feeling a little bit of the strain of not getting into the top 8, not since 2011,
right.
He told us.
World Championship in San Francisco.
Yeah, but here he is, and again, a dominant performance with that dominant Eldrazi deck.
Right, now, we go into the bottom half of the top 8, number 5, 12-3-1 again, back to East-West Bowl, here's Pascal Maynard.
Pascal, finally, Maynard.
Right.
This is a player we saw right in the mix for the Grand Prix Player of the Year trophy last year. Fell just short of that and his chance to get to the World Championship, but had a lot of success at the Grand Prix level, and has come close a few times at the Pro Tour level, but this was his breakthrough performance. Another member of East-West Bowl, but he played Affinity, not the Blue-Red Eldrazi deck.
Speaking of Affinity, our number 6 player, and I think this is one of the great achievements of the weekend, Patrick Dyckman, known as a player of Splinter Twin, made the top 8 of a Modern Pro Tour with Splinter Twin, Grand Prix top 8s with Splinter Twin. His backup deck was Affinity.
Well, not only is it that backup deck made the top 8 of a Pro Tour, the Modern Pro Tour, where he played Tarmo Twin. He
gave the deck to Christian Seibold.
His Affinity deck. He's like, well, I was thinking about playing this. Here, good friend Christian Seibold. Why don't you play? Why don't you play my Affinity deck? It's the deck I was very close to playing, and it top 8'd that Pro Tour. So, and in fact, he said that he was resolved to play Affinity for this Pro Tour before the banning of Splinter Twin.
Oh wow, okay.
He's like, no, this is a deck I like. This is not a last resort, where you hear people, I'll just play this no deck. He's like, no, I've decided that this is the deck I am best suited to playing, and I can really pilot expertly at the Pro Tour level. So,
as we say throughout the weekend, 12-4, things are not in your destiny. It's not in your own hands, because you have to rely on tie breaks. Maybe a couple of you make it in, maybe you don't. A few rounds ago, that scoreboard had at number 1, Frank Lepore, 11-1 at his first Pro Tour.
Sitting at the King of the Hill table for multiple rounds.
And then it said 11-2. And then it said 11-3 when Luis Scott Vargas pulled out one of the most astonishing games of Magic you will ever see.
A gut shot straight to Frank Lepore's heart.
Yeah, at 1 life, gut shot you, on you go. It got worse for Frank, 11-4. Now he comes into the last round knowing out of his hands, have to win, see what happens.
Not only is it out of his hands, on paper, it looks like he is out of the top 8. There are 8 players who can shake hands and lock up their berths in the top 8. But Shuhei Nakamura and even Flock had drawn the previous round, and they decided to play
for top seed, which is obviously very important, because you get to choose whether to play or draw tomorrow in games 1 and then 3 if it turns out to be. And especially with Affinity, just think of the advantage of just machine gunning out your hand on turn 1. That's what Patrick Dyckman and Pascal Maynard would love to do against maybe a Lepore or Zhexin Chao. But Lepore stayed strong. He got that last win. He did not know he was in when he won. And he sat there going, have I blown it from 11-1? Is 12-4 too late? No, Frank Lepore, you are in.
And
great job.
Really remarkable about, it's been a long weekend. Remarkable about this for Frank Lepore is that this is his first Pro Tour. He's someone who's been around, he's done coverage, he's involved with Melissa DeTora, Pro Tour top 8 competitor, someone who's been, a content creator in the Magic community for a long time, but never played on the Pro Tour before this weekend. To make the top 8 in your first Pro Tour, that's elite company.
And of course, that does mean they are the first couple in Magic history to both have a Pro Tour top 8, which is a wonderful achievement by both. So hats off, Melissa back at home, and to Frank here, turning the card sideways at Oath of the Gatewatch. And finally, Zhexin Chao of the United States.
Yeah, JC, as everybody calls him in Seattle, 8th seed is a little misleading.
Oh, yes.
Because he is the top constructed player in this tournament, 9-1 record in Modern with the Blue-Red Eldrazi deck.
Oh, I can't let you get away with that. Patrick Dyckman will kill me. 9-0-1 for Patrick Dyckman. No losses at all.
Oh, interesting. A couple wrinkles also in the constructed master race.
Right. But Zhexin Chao, having led overnight at 8-0, by the way, in the company of as you see, the rest here, Jason Chung did not make it in. He finishes 9th on 12-4 from an 8-0 start.
Yeah, and William Jensen, the Hall of Famer, in 10th place, 12-4. Paul Cheon, 12-4. Josh McClain, Oliver 2.
Yeah.
Kentaro Yamamoto playing the through the breach deck.
Right, and everyone on that list, even those 11 fives, they're all invited back. So Bart Lewandowski of Poland, who's probably a bit disappointed to not be in the top 8. John Graham had a terrific weekend.
By the way, can we take a second to talk about Bart Lewandowski?
Yep.
This is his 3rd Pro Tour. He has a 16th and a 17th now.
That's great.
He has a top
stuff.
16 and just missing a top 16. So tremendous. Someone I'm going to be checking in on very early in the tournament when we get to Pro Tour Shadows over Industry.
For sure. So we have an 8. Shuhei Nakamura, even flock, Andrew Brown at 3, LSV 4, Pascal Maynard 5, Patrick Dyckman 6, Frank Lepore 7, and Jia Chen Tao at 8. They will be back tomorrow to play the best 3 out of 5. Sideboards, so important tomorrow. Don't you dare miss a thing. Quarterfinals 1 and 2 will run together, then 3 and 4. You'll see all the key games of that, and then every turn of semi-final 1, every turn of semi-final 2, and somewhere in the back end of the afternoon, either Affinity or some flavour of Eldrazi will claim $40,000 and the title of the champion of Pro Tour Oath of the Gatewatch.
What do Eldrazi taste like?
On that note, we will leave you here from Atlanta. Thanks so much for being with us on Friday and Saturday, but it just keeps getting better. Top 8 is on the way. Bye.